So my topic today is Xhosa, which is in South Africa. Xhosa people are from South Africa, and I'll get into that more. But my project was on throat singing. Have you all heard of throat singing by show of hands? Have you heard of Xhosa throat singing? That's what I figured would happen. Okay, so we'll learn a bit more about it today.
Yes.
Yes. No. That's not fair. And I don't know how to get off there. Okay. Well, I hope that the rest of my videos will show here, because I have several. But anyway, this gentleman here, T'Challa's father. So in the movie Black Panther, they actually use the Xhosa language because this gentleman here is actually from South America, and he is Xhosa. That word is very hard for me to say. And so is Trevor Noah. Both are from Xhosa. So, isiXhosa is the language of Wakanda and the South African Xhosa. Xhosa is a Bantu language spoken in South Africa, mainly in Eastern Cape, Western Cape, Free State, and Northern Cape. It is also in parts of Lesotho and Zimbabwe. And also, Mandiba is probably the most famous member of the Xhosa culture. This is him when he was younger, of course, and then he became the president there. And then this outfit that he's wearing here is usually designated for kings. So Xhosa came from the Zulu tribe, and this is an attire that Zulu kings would wear. All right, so my journey and this project. So I'll start by saying this was kind of difficult for me. I had to step out of my comfort zone on so many levels. I heard you mention the Africa Center in one of our earlier classes, so I decided to take a trip there and visit. And I did have some African cuisine. Now they are Pan-African, so they just cover like all of Africa. So just some things from my trip. And then this is a wooden doll, a wooden Xhosa doll. And they're called Xhosa. I can't just say Xhosa. There's so much easier for me to say. They're also called the red blanket people because of the blankets that they wear. And when we get more into the throat singing, you'll see women wearing blankets. So I think I spoke a bit about the language already, isiXhosa. And the language is also known for the click. So there's a click for X, Q, and C. So X is like Xhosa. It's very hard to say. And then the C is more of a, like a, and then Q is, yeah. So a bit about the music and culture. So music is a huge part of their culture, and family and community is a huge part of their culture. So everything that they do is primarily as a group, as a unit. Even the way they live, like they're not really closed off. And if anyone wants to go, if you went to a village, they eat out in the open where everybody's there, they share meals. It's like one big family, which is not too far off from my culture, actually. Dancing is also a very important part of their culture. Dancing and music go together. Whenever they're singing or playing an instrument, and they kind of all go together. So there's always instruments and music and dance. Even if there are no instruments, like heavy instruments, there's still an element of dance. I don't know that these will play, but here is a group of Xhosa singers, and this group has been influenced by Western Europe in the sense that they are performing as a choir. Because usually Xhosa throat singing is done at weddings, funerals, kind of a celebratory thing. And I think you mentioned also that funerals are not like, it's a celebration. So they usually do it in celebratory settings. Let's see if this will play. This is not throat singing, this is just a style of singing. And later in the video, another lady is going to come out and dance. They're going to kind of do a, which reminds me a lot of church. dancing.
Are they wearing bells?
So they use various types of instruments to make sound. Sometimes bells, and I don't know, like, you'll see it later in the video. I'm not sure what they make these leg wraps out of, but it's very interesting. That's something that I plan to look into more. Now, if I could just go to the next slide.
It's like
Click
we
the
got it.
arrow on the keyboard. Oh, just click on your background, click the orange part. Yeah, and then zero.
Okay. All right, so my main topic is throat singing. Throat singing, also referred to as overtone singing in Western scholarly literature, includes a wide range of styles. I won't read all this for the sake of time, but styles. So I was introduced to throat singing through like a BBC or something special who was focusing on Inuit throat singing, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. And there's a punk singer, so she incorporates punk music into the Inuit throat singing style. I thought that's really cool. Maybe I could learn to do that with Kosa. So, more popular styles of throat singing are, Mongolian throat singing and Tuvan throat singing from Russia. So I wanted to play like several of these, but I won't for the sake of time. But I thought this one was really cool. This is not what I'm going to do, but one day I hope to learn to do this.
Overtone singing is a voice technique where one person sings two notes at the same time.
Okay, so I just wanted to give us a different
Halfway can do that.
of throat singing. Oh, that one might be that. Okay.
Inuit throat singing is a friendly competition between girls. It was something that they would do while the men were out hunting. We do imitations of the sounds that we hear around us, like animals and tools in nature.
It's the same sound,
And I'm gonna stop there to move on for the sake of time.
but only a half.
If I can. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of illustrate some of the differences and similarities between the styles. So Tuvan throat singing, Mongolian throat singing, you can clearly hear two pitches being sung, or multiple pitches at a time, or the overtone and the undertones. And there's a very free kind of flowing sound. Well, Xhosa throat singing is not that, like at all. But some things that they do share are that they try to imitate the sounds that they hear around them, the sounds of nature. So I gained well, not all of it, but most of the information that I got came from this author, David Darji, an ethnomusicologist. He wrote this article and published in the African Music Journal. Okay. So this is just to illustrate just to show you guys on the map where these coastal women are from in South Africa. They are from, they're in between here. This is called Lady Ferrer, if I'm pronouncing that right. In between Queenstown and Lesotho. Yeah, right in here. So the gentleman that I mentioned earlier that wrote the article, he's produced several videos documenting his travel to South Africa and studying throat singing. And when he went to Lady Ferrer, he met two women that were able to explain what Xhosa throat singing was and how it worked. And they are a part of the Ngoko ensemble. And when they sing, they create a low resonant buzzing sound deep in their throats, and then they sing above that, harmonizing with their own voice. How am I doing on time? Okay. So this Bo, that's his name right there. I don't know how to pronounce that. I won't say it right. But when they do the throat singing, they're basically imitating this Bo sound. Okay. And this is the group of women that were documented from 1985 to 1998 by the gentleman that I mentioned before. And I was gonna share that video with you, but I'm running out of time. And this is a video where those same ladies are teaching this lady to throat sing. So this is another source of learning for me because I could not find a private instructor. And in fact, more about that, they don't offer private instruction. Even if I were to go to South Africa, it's not something that they teach like one-on-one, or they describe it as, well, one of the ladies was asked, when did you learn or how did you learn? And she said, I never learned. You just do it. Okay, so it's a lot of improv. But I'll play a bit, and I actually ordered this CD. It did not arrive on time, but hopefully I'll get it at some point. So here's a sample of the song. So the style is called Ngokolo. That's what overtone singing is. And this particular song, it was mentioned in the article. Oh, come on. Okay, so if I would love to play the rest of it for you, but I'm running low on time. So, in keeping with this class and how this class has been run, we're going to do a bit of improvisation, if you don't mind doing this with me. So what typically happens in this tradition is there's a leader, and I didn't show you the lady who I was talking about with the rings on her legs, but she's a divine, like she's divine in their culture. I can't remember the exact term, but she's very significant in the culture, and she kind of passes on this tradition of throat singing and all that. So she is generally the leader, and everybody else would follow. And let me try to, so this type of throat singing is, you have to reach down deep, and I wish I could have shown you the other video that I'm trying to teach later, but you almost have to growl. So, get ready. So you find it deep in here, and it's like like you gotta produce a sound. Yeah. Yeah, find the growl. So I would start, and then you all would just join in, whatever you feel. There are some tunes that are written, and they have a whole CD, this ensemble, they have a CD now, because again, they have been, Western culture has influenced them. But even the songs on this CD, they are never sang the same way more than once. Like it's only done that one time that way. It's different every time. Okay. 1 second. So I recorded myself practicing a couple of times, and it was always interesting to me when I actually heard the overtone. Like it kind of freaked me out a bit that I was actually able to do that. Particularly just kind of teaching myself. Now this is something that generally takes years to learn how to do. Yeah, that's not the one. No, There we go. Ooh. And it hurts so bad, y'all. Okay, so I will start that, and then you all join in. So there's clapping that's involved. Remember, I mentioned a dance. So, and all the claps don't have to be the same. Okay? So my melody that I came up with is that. Now I gotta find it down here, okay? Eventually smooths out, and you begin to hear the overtones, and that's it was written about in the article as well. So when I actually heard myself do that, I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. So I just need more time with the code. So again, it takes years and years to do this. Do I have any more time left? Okay, sorry. Well, thank you all for